This black garlic thyme pate is certainly what David Chang would likely call ugly delicious, but the flavor is unmatched. You will need black garlic, thyme, ghee, which is clarified butter, salt, white pepper, Shaoxing wine, shallots, and of course, chicken livers. Slice the shallots lengthwise. For this I like to cut them pole to pole because it holds its shape a lot better than orbitally when you caramelize them, but honestly, it probably doesn't matter. We're both cooking these down until they're soft and blitzing them in a food processor anyways. Dry the chicken livers with a paper towel and clean them of any blood clots or fibrous membranes. You're going to want to have a lot of paper towels at the ready so you can keep both your hands and your chicken livers dry. Chicken livers are slippery. If you want, you can let them sit in milk or heavy cream for an hour or so in order to make a smoother, less livery tasting pate, but it's completely optional. Turn the heat on medium. Add enough clarified butter to coat the bottom of the pan with the most surface area that you have, and add in the livers. You should cook them in batches so you don't overcrowd the livers, making them steam instead of brown. Salt the livers as they're cooking, and turn them over after a couple of minutes on each side. They should be firm, but not rubbery. When you've completely finished cooking the livers, add in your sliced shallots. The shallots should have enough moisture in them to pick up any of the fond that's built up in the pan. Add salt. If the shallots ever look dry, add in your Shaoxing wine. The Shaoxing does a few things. It deglazes the pan, adds acidity to the livers, and adds a beautiful aroma, which will help temper the stronger taste of the liver. If you don't consume any alcohol at all, you can use rice vinegar, but it will likely be more acidic than the Shaoxing, so you may have to dilute it with some water. Take your time caramelizing the shallots. Add more ghee. The shallots will infuse their aroma into the ghee, and it will make the pate creamier and richer. You want the shallots deeply browned, but not burnt. I'm using white peppercorns because they're sharper, spicier, and more floral than black, which will also help temper the irony harshness of the livers. White peppercorns are processed so that they are only the interior seed, whereas black contains the dried husk of the peppercorn. Because I keep only whole peppercorns, I'm going to be using a spice grinder to turn the white peppercorns into the finest powder possible. If you don't have a spice grinder, you can buy the pre-ground stuff, but it will not be as strong, and you may need to use more. Add the livers and shallots to a food processor. Add the thyme, peeled black garlic cloves, white pepper, and more Shaoxing. Blend until smooth. Taste and adjust for seasoning. If you want it sweeter, add more black garlic cloves. If you want it more peppery, add more pepper. If you want it more acidic, add more Shaoxing. It will mellow slightly when it's cold, but if it's too livery for your liking now, you may add heavy cream or melted butter. In a heat-safe bowl, add in some ghee, and microwave it for about 30 seconds until it's melted. In a small, tightly lidded container, add your pate and smooth over the top. Add the melted clarified butter to seal it. The ghee will harden once it's refrigerated, sealing the pate from oxidation. But the best part about this is that the pate is already deeply dark brown because of the black garlic. It won't matter as much if it darkens further due to oxidation. It should last maybe a week in the fridge, so long as it's properly sealed. I actually should have added more ghee here. Is this healthy? No. Is it delicious? Yes. You can serve it with bread, or make Vietnamese sandwiches with it. Eat it with charcuterie. Make it into a creamy pasta sauce. But whatever you do, I highly suggest you add some acidity to whatever you eat to cut its richness. Whether that be balsamic vinegar, salsa criolla, pomegranate molasses, or pickled vegetables. If you like this video, please consider sharing and subscribing, and I'll see you next upload.